Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of our dual game playthrough with Arghast, the Highlander Scoundrel, and Vayshee, our Feathered Dragon Historian. So far in parts 1 and 2, we've seen our duo cross the map. We've seen them go through quite a few quests and destinations. They've gained quite a few fragments and even a few relics. The Scoundrel is dual-wielding the Widow's Fang, which is Aranea's whip, the Spider Queen's whip. He also has Kedgel's Greatsword, while the Historian has the Amulet of the Scholar. We also saw the Dead King overtake the Magi in the second playthrough, in the second session that we played. So, before we begin, I want to just cover a few things that I missed when we had the battle with Aranea. At the end of that battle, I did not roll for Bezel Quarks. So I'm going to count up the number of bosses that we've defeated. We've defeated the Bandit Prince. We defeated the Mrekekek, the Mad King. We didn't defeat, but it still counts as a boss defeat, and that is Hathawir, the Great Owl. And then finally we have Aranea, so that's 4. So we're going to roll a 4-sided die, and we're going to see, a 10-sided die, and see if Bezel Quarks has opened after our battle with Aranea. And we get a 6, so he does not appear, so that's okay. All right, what else? One other thing that I did not do correctly when I was placing down the Dead King after he's taken over the Fate Spool. The Dead King is now staying in Adrimon's Acropolis. He rather likes this gigantic elven castle, and now he's basically using that Fate Spool to drain the power and the life out of the populace. So last time what I ended up doing is I placed a enthralled city token, replaced it, one of the fallen cities, with a enthralled city token, and I should have not done that. Basically what you do is the Dead King is actually destroying enthralled cities. So I'm going to roll for the one that I took off, I'm going to be rolling a 6-sided die, and I'm going to see which of the fallen cities he has converted, which of the enthralled cities he has converted into a fallen city. So we get a hex, and that is not on the board, and we get a 5. That is taken by the Acropolis, so anything but a 5 or a hex, and that is a 1. Okay, so the first enthralled city has been converted. That is right here. So he's using the Fate Spool to destroy and drain the life out of Adrimon's minions. And now, not only are they mind wiped, but they're complete zombies. So at the end of the next turn, we will be rolling again, and we're going to see another city fall. Okay, I think that catches us up. We have just put together the amulet in the second battle site here. So I think before we go and try and destroy the Dead King and save what few people are left, I think we are going to try to obtain a few more fragments so that I can go into this boss battle with more relics than what we currently have. So let's get started. What I think we're going to do, last time in our very last turn, we used Hathawir, so we cannot fly upon the Great Owl once more. So we will be moving normally. Let's see, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it doesn't quite get us there, but we could move recklessly and go 7, 8. Our movement speed right now is 6/3, meaning that we can move 6 hexes normally and 3 hexes cautiously. But I think for this, what we're going to do is we're going to move fairly quickly. Before we do that, I think I'm going to use a potion on both of our heroes here. So got rid of my potion. Let's see here. So that 6 is going to go up to a 9. We've got full health over here. And we should have a 13 and a 5 here for health and energy. Okay, so let's take a look at our characters. We have Arghast here. And as you can see, he's got a huge attack. 22 attack. His backstab, which is his second mastery, is 14. He's at 9 for all of his skills at the moment. And he's got 15 health and 11 energy. All right, let's take a look at the historian here. Vayshee, much smaller attack rank, but that's okay. She doesn't need it. She's actually got a huge ancient rituals first mastery, which is really good because that provides us with the assist type actions that we would expect of an assist roll. Look at that. They both have 43 gold. Not sure how that happened, but that's pretty cool. And I was hoping that that black market would have opened so that I could use some of that gold. Alas, it has not. That's okay. All right, so we've just used a couple potions. Let's move. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and move recklessly. Now we have to take a little bit of energy drain when we do that, and let's just double check. I believe it is 2 or 3. So let me just pull that out here. It is 2 energy drain, and we have to roll navigate, and we have to choose to roll one or the other. So 5 goes to 3, 9 goes to 7. All right, and let's see. I'm going to roll. I'm going to fail survival here. He's got plenty of food. He's snacking on those spider legs now. So I'm going to roll for gold and navigate. Failure, critical failure on that one. We did make navigate, however, so at least we found the place that we're going. We have to take some food off here. Let me just revitalize the ink, and then I can, take it right off. All right, and then for Vayshee, I think we'll do the same thing. Let's go for gold. And that 2 is actually going to be turned into a 3. And because that's a 3, we have 13 for Vayshee's Explore. That's considered a critical success. So that means we get to try for a seed. She also made navigate. So let's roll for that seed. We're going to roll a 8-sided die, and on a roll of a 6 or less, we get an infused seed. And it's a hex, so that's awesome. We get a seed. I'll place that here on our mat, our battle mat. Okay, so now we're going to have a circumstance. We've done everything that we were going to do. Let's roll for that circumstance. We roll not a d6, we're rolling a d10. In the dual game, we roll a 10-sided die. So let's see what that is. That's a 10. That's all the way over here. Blind draw from the deck. Thieves! Your gold has been stolen. Each hero loses all gold. Each hero rolls all skills. If any hero succeeds on all 3, you locate the bandits. Each hero reclaims what was stolen from them, and you may turn them into a city. Well, there are no cities left. The next time you return to a city, each hero gains 6 gold. Okay, so each hero rolls all skills. If any hero succeeds on all 3, we find the bandits. So somebody is alive in the forest after all. Adrimon hasn't mind-wiped them. They're likely another set of heroes. They must have a high amount of skills in order to have avoided the mind-wiping. So here we are trying to get through the forest, and thieves come by and attempt to take all our money. And they almost do. Made all 3. Okay, so we made all 3 despite the penalties. Let's just see if Vayshee also spots these thieves, and she does as well. So we made everything. We get back our gold. Oh, thank goodness. That would have been 100 gold almost that they would have gained, and we would have lost. So, Thieves is done. Okay, and now we'll go into the event phase, and that is a destination. So let's take a look at that destination. All right, this is the Elder Gate. You've stumbled upon an old gate which appears to be an active portal, perhaps one that leads into the Fey Realm. Oddly, this one isn't operated by Elowin's keepers. After inspecting the old structure, you come to the terrible realization that another power maintains it, Adrimon. Or maybe it's the dead king now. Her mind wiped are at work inside, and they've acquired 2 fragments. Brave the area and roll all skills. Attempt to close the portal and stop the mind wiped at all costs. Once you complete this destination, roll the fate die and increase the fate tracker by the result. Okay, so we're going to roll all of our skills, and we have to see if one of us makes all 3. Okay, made it. Just barely. Made it all 3. And let's see. Vayshee here. Missed it. Okay, so the scoundrel just barely makes this roll. They're poking around this old gate, this old basically this portal in the forest, and we're trying to close the portal. All of a sudden, all of the mind-wiped zombies that are inside, now working for the dead king, they spot us and start coming toward the portal. We end up closing the portal, grabbing the 2 fragments on our way out. So we actually get 2 fragments from this card, and we are going to roll the 8-sided die and increase the fate tracker that many times. 4. So we're going to increase the fate tracker 4 times. Let's put that here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go to fate cycle 6. Thankfully, we are still okay. We are not in jeopardy of losing our skills just yet. We still have a right mind. All right, now we get... Whoops. Sorry about that, Dead King. Where am I? All right, let's put him back up. Okay, so the next thing that happens is we get to draw 2 fragment cards. So let's see what those are. The Cane and the Scepter. Okay, so the Cane is going to give us either a +3 to energy, a +1 to defend, or a power-up card. The Scepter is going to give us a +1 attack, a +1 blue, or a power-up card. So I'm going to take a few minutes and gain these bonuses. I think the Historian is going to take 2 power-ups, and you know what? I think we're just going to do that for both of our heroes. We're just going to take 2 power-up cards. So let's see what that is. -1 food rating for the scoundrel, and then a +2 total. We get a +2 attack over here, and a favored opponent. That's actually really good for the Historian to get an extra favored opponent. Okay, and we're back. And 2 of those cards had Adrimon's symbol on it, so the fate tracker goes up twice. All right, so I'm going to put those down. So basically, our Historian now has 4 favorite opponents. She is good against constructs. She's good against creatures, monstrous humanoids, and now undead as well. That's going to set us up great for the next battle. So we have the Scepter and the Cane. So let's take a look to see what we have here. So we have, these are our extra fragments. Hey, we have enough to create the Scepter now. The Scepter. So we have all 3 of the Scepter. We have 2 of the staff, 2 of the figurine, 1 of the shield, 1 of the ring, and 1 of the cane. All right. So that was pretty good. We could put together that that Scepter. We would need to do so here. Before we do so, the villain phase is going to occur. The fate tracker is going to continue to go up, so we are 1 away from being fate cycle 7. Our lowest skill right now is an 8. So we're just barely okay there. The Dead King is going to be selecting a new enthralled city to take over, and our options are 2, 3, and 4. So let's see, we get a 3. So the Dead King has just taken over. I believe this one is Darkassan. All right. So look at all of those fallen cities on the board. All of that red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fallen cities on the board. And it is our turn. So I think what we're going to... Oh, we take some damage. We take some damage based on the fate cycle. The Dead King is dealing damage to us each turn. So we're going to go down to... he's going to go down to 4, and he is out of energy currently. Let's go to that battle site, and then we will use that healing surge that's there to heal us as well. So what we're going to do is we could even take out another boss if we really wanted to. I don't know if we want to. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are moving normally, so we're going to roll our skills. Okay, I make everything here. And everything here, just barely with an 8. So let's go and get some gold. We're both up to 45 gold now. And then we are we've stopped in a battle site. Now, you do not play a circumstance when you enter a battle site, but if you should camp here, you would have a circumstance normally. So we skip the circumstance phase, we go right into the event phase, and that is, can we craft this scepter? We have three of the scepter pieces. All 3, let's turn those in for the scepter. Let's see if we can find it here. All right, so the Scepter of Light. For a moment, time seems to slow. Light pours into the realm, flooding the forest with a vibrant blue aura. From behind the light, a figure emerges, one you almost mistook for a child. She is a sprite with intensely colored hair. She says plainly, "You are ready." Once per combat, you may spend 5 energy to boost one ally's action rank by your 2nd mastery rank. Oh, that would be really good if the historian had this, so that she can boost the scoundrel's rank by her 2nd mastery. Let's see if she can wield it. So the requirement on this card is a 6+, and we have 2 relics already. So that means that we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She must have a 10 rank for her 2nd mastery, which is just barely enough. She can just barely wield the Scepter of Light along with the Amulet of the Scholar. So Vayshee is going to gain 5 ranks to her Learned One ability, and that will give her another favorite opponent. Let's just do Magic Nature. Okay, and then let's see. So we're going to put that right here. That is the amulet. Sorry, the Scepter of Light. Awesome. All right. So we've just gained the scepter. Let's use that healing surge. We're going to go up to full health and full energy. Just in the nick of time, we would have taken a little bit extra damage. The Dead King does not turn an enthralled city this turn. He will turn another one next turn, but he will go ahead and do damage to us, and the fate tracker increases by 1. Our fate cycle is now 7. Okay. All right. We take some damage. We take 3 damage. 15 and 8. All right, we have a Wand of Ashes. We have 3 tree walking potions. We have 2 green fire potions here, 4 green fire potions here, a bark skin brew. Okay. So going into this combat, I think we're ready. The Scepter of Light, we just obtained it. We managed to get the last fragment piece. What else do we have? We could put together the staff. Oh man, if we put together the staff, we could be even more powerful. But we need to get the piece for that. How can we get the piece for that? We could use mutable material in the Fey Realm. So this powdered clay reconstitutes with the water from Elwyn's Grove. You may use it while in the Fey Realm to transform 1 fragment into another. Discard 1 fragment you found and search for another of your choice in the fragment deck and claim it as your own. So we could definitely do this. Do we have 4 seeds? We have 5. We have 5 seeds. We can do this. Let's go visit Elwyn. Okay, so to visit Elwyn, what we're going to do on our turn, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We will be able to place down a new tile. So let's do that first. You draw, when you place down a new tile, you're going to draw from both of the hex tile piles, and you get to choose which one you're putting down. So in this case, we have a waypost, and in this case, we have the Cryovern and a Ruin. So I think we don't have Spirit. I didn't select Spirit, so I'm going to put this one back, and let's look at this one. So we're going to put this one down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to put it down just like this. And then let's move recklessly again. 7, 8 to go into the Fey Realm. And we're going to try to get to Elwyn's Grove. Okay, so we have just moved. We are going to roll our skills. Oh, we moved recklessly, so I can only roll 2. 3 and a 7. Made both. Okay, and 6 and a 4. Made both as well. All right, so we get a couple extra gold from that. All right, and then we are going to enter the Fey Realm. Now we've already succeeded on our navigate roll here. So that means we automatically are going to enter the Fey Realm in the same portal number as the one that's specified. So right now we've entered the first portal. We're going to emerge on the first portal spot in Elwyn's Grove. So we're going to be right there. Now we don't have any movement left. So now we have a circumstance, and we actually get to choose the circumstance that we want to take. So, oh man, we've got a bunch of things on the board there. A bunch of afflictions, actually. Do we have any? We do not have any... we don't have any luck stones, so I can't get rid of anything on the board. I get to choose one of the circumstances. I think I'm going to choose a blind draw from the deck because, well, actually, you can choose. So we have Annoying Pixie. Yeah, nothing's really good. All right, so we're going to choose the top card off of the Force of Adrimon deck. We could take Sleepy Spore, which is going to put us to sleep. We're going to fall asleep, and the Fate Tracker is going to advance without us. We have an Annoying Pixie. We don't want to fight an Annoying Pixie. Let's avoid them. We could fight an Aggressive Thicket or the Elven High Guards. We could become poisoned. That sounds fun. We could gain inclement weather while we're in the Fey Realm, the bandits, or become maimed. So I think we're going to select one blindly, and it's a Moonclaw. It's a magic nature. Okay, so we are going to fight this Moonclaw here. This is going to give us 3 food, and it's... Oh, I forgot to take off food from that last time here. Well, that'll be good. We'll be able to get a little bit of food left. So 14 plus 20 is 24 health. The Scoundrel's going to do 22. The Historian is going to do favored opponent damage of 5. And she will use Ancient Rituals. So what is the Moonclaw going to do? A 2. Dual target energy. The first target becomes bound to the second target. So the first target, let's see, is the Scoundrel. The Scoundrel is bound to the Historian. So we're going to take 6 energy, 7 energy damage. So he goes down to 1 left. Vayshee goes down to 8. She used Ancient Rituals to go down to 6. And then we'll use that. Actually, she's going to use it twice to boost the... so she goes down to 4. And then she heals for 4. And so does Arghast. Okay, so the Moonclaw is dead. We have done enough damage in the first round to destroy this creature, but we have taken quite a bit of energy damage. We get a seed and make it, and we get 3 food each. Moonclaw is much better to eat than spider legs. And we now have 6 seeds. So that was pretty good. Okay. That is the end of our circumstance phase. We are in the Fey realm. The Dead King is, the Fate tracker goes up by 1. The Dead King is now taking over a new enthralled city. We have number 4, number 2. Just those 2. 2 and 4. So let's go. Odds are 2 and evens are 4. And that is a hex, which is an even. So the 4th city, right next to where we were. It's like he was purposefully targeting where we were to try and get us. So there's only 1 left. All right, so the next thing that happens is we will be able to get our turn. So we are going to move 1 into the Elwyn's Grove here. Oh, we take some damage because of the Fate cycle at the end of that turn. Okay, we've moved into the Grove. We've moved cautiously. We get to roll skills. Missed survival. Made everything else. So we have 49 gold. Taken off some food. The Scoundrel is eating a little less these days. His food rating went down. And look at that. We missed 1 of those. Okay. And we made survival. All right. So the next thing is we're in the Fey realm. We get to choose to do, let's see. The heroes may choose circumstance in play while anywhere in the Fey realm. May choose. So yeah, we still have to have one. Let's go with another one of these. Wood Nymph. We moved cautiously, moved 1 space. We're gonna avoid the Wood Nymph. I mean, she does give 2 seeds, but we have enough seeds to get what we need here. If we get the 2 seeds, we could actually get 2. Oh. No, we still have to go here to... Yeah, we still would have to... Okay, I think we're going to avoid the Wood Nymph because we don't want to be too greedy. And I think we'll have enough to do what we need to do. So, we move cautiously. We avoid the Wood Nymph. Let's get that mutable material. So we get to discard a fragment we've found and search for another of our choice and gain it immediately. We do not gain the new bonuses for that card. That's going to cost us 4 seeds. We have 2 seeds left. Could get a Mana Stone. Yes, a Mana Stone would be great. Let's get a Mana Stone with the other 2. So the Mana Stone raises 10 energy, and it lasts for a full game turn or until the extra energy is lost. That would be pretty good. All right, and then let's find that fragment that we're after. So we have the staff. I think that's the one we're going to go after, is the staff, because it gives the bonus to our first mastery, which would be really nice for Vayshee to gain. So let's get the staff. All the way on the bottom. Okay. Should probably shuffle these. Put that back. All right, and we're going to get rid of one of the ones we have. Get rid of the ring. Okay, so now we have enough to create the staff. In order for us to create it, we're going to have to go back to this battle site, which is right next to the Dead King. All right, so at the end of this turn, the Fate Tracker goes up by 1. The Dead King is going to dish some damage to us. We are in the Fey Realm, so hang on. We are in the Grove even. The group heals all conditions and all lost health energy upon exiting the Fey Realm. So we still do take this damage. And once we leave the Fey Realm, we will be healing to full. Okay, the next thing that happens is the Dead King does not take over that next city. We will wait until the next one after that. All right, well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave the portal on number 4, and that's going to put us right next to Arghast, the great tree where Hathawir exists. So we're going to go back through the portal, taking this exit here, and we are going to step here. Now we have more movement remaining, so we're going to go 2, 3, and for 3 movement, which is moving cautiously, we get to that next battle site. We've left the Fey Realm, so we heal up to full. And then we are at the 4th battle site. We have created 3 relics, so we can now create that 4th relic. So let's take these 3 and put them away and gain the staff. Arcaven staff. Alright, so at first it is difficult to see the hooded spirit's features. It lifts its cowl and you're surprised to realize you're looking at Arcaven, the first realm crosser, a legend to the elves. His smirk twists into a smile. Not many have gazed at him before. He nods in appreciation before fading from view. Once per game turn, you may spend 5 energy to allow all heroes who have rolled a skill to receive the most favorable roll of the group. Alright, so now the requirement for this card is 6 for first mastery. But because we have Kedgel's Greatsword, that's 8. And the Amulet, that's 10. And the Scepter of Light, that's 12. So we need to have 12 first mastery in order to wield this. The Scoundrel only has 7 for his first mastery, so he cannot wield this. The Historian, however, has 16 for her first mastery, so she can wield this this staff. And the moment she does so, she is infused with more power. She gains a +5 to that ability. So now she's up to 21. That is awesome because that is going to allow her ancient rituals to go up a little bit here. So she gains 2 more rituals, and I think she is going to use both of those to health. So now instead of healing 3 health when she uses it, she will be healing 9 health when she uses it, her ancient rituals. That is going to seriously help us in the final battle. All right, so I think we're ready, and in order to go out with a bang in this game here, we are going to fight both Adrimon and the Dead King in one battle together. This is an option for those of you who would like a challenge. That's definitely, I think, what we're going to do in this game. Now, our heroes only have 15 health, 11 energy, and 14 health, and 18 energy. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. We might die a horrible death, but I think it's going to be fun trying. So let's see how that goes. The next thing that happens, so we are in the battle site. We've skipped the circumstance phase. The Dead King is going to go. He is now taken over this last remaining enthralled city. We were not able to save anyone in the forest. Thankfully, we have a couple of wayposts here where people still exist that haven't been touched by him yet. But we definitely need to go up against him soon. We take some damage, but we are in a we take some damage at the end. So yeah, we do not get to heal. So that's going to be 3 damage each. And that is going to set us up for the end combat. Okay, we're back. I think we're ready to take on these 2 villains in one epic battle. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've looked at all of the cards that we have and all of the abilities that we've gained. There's a lot that's going to be going on in this battle. So the first thing that I've done is I've looked at the few legendary cards that we have. We have the Grey Dragon Skull and we have the Widow's Fang. The Grey Dragon Skull we could use to do a vitality swap. In this case, it's not going to be very helpful based on the vitals that our heroes have. So I won't be using the Grey Dragon Skull. If I had a few extra Nature's Essence, if I would have stayed in this waypost a little bit longer and purchased some, I mean, look at this gold. I have a 49 gold here, 47 gold here. I could have actually used this to sacrifice seeds and gain an additional ability. I did not do that. Widow's Fang, the same thing. I do have a Widow's Bite ability that I have with this whip. So with this ability, I can, when I only use my attack action, I can also attack for doing energy damage, rolling the die to do energy damage as well. And indeed, if I do that, the target begins to bleed, so they will be suffering some damage as well from the bleed condition that I can lay on them. Additionally, again, if I had a few extra essence vines, I could be using Widow's Fang to actually allow me to use my attack action twice every every round of combat. But because I did not spend time getting those vines, I don't have access to that ability. I have Kedrill's Greatsword. So what this allows me to do is it shuts down the Magi's defend ability, or at least it dampens the effect of that ability. And in fact, I can, once per combat, I can spend 4 energy to deal piercing health damage equal to my attack rank. Being that this is on the Scoundrel, whose attacks rank is at 22, that's 22 extra damage that we get once per game turn, once per combat. The Highlander, we all have seen his ability in use. If he's the only hero attacking, he will also get extra damage once per game turn. Looking at the Historian, the Feathered Dragon ability allows us to gain an extra roll of favored opponent dice. Being that we have 2 favored opponents, both Undead and Construct, she will be gaining that extra roll of dice, and we'll likely just do that on our first round in combat to deal a little extra damage. All right, then we have Arcaven Staff. Now, Arcaven Staff actually shuts down the Magi's attack ability. Again, dampens it. So this one we could use for 5 energy. We can use the staff ability, which allows us to gain basically a skill roll, the most favorable roll of the group. So if one of us rolls badly on a skill, we'll be able to use that to help the other. Okay, then we have the Historian with the Scepter of Light. And now the Scepter is going to shut down the Magi's Soul Ace ability. So that will be very helpful for us as well. Again, it's going to dampen. Once per combat, we can spend 5 energy to boost one ally's action rank by our second action rank. So that is huge. Boost one ally's action rank by 15. That could be really good to do a bunch of extra damage. Alright, so that's the Scepter. The Amulet. So this one, once per game turn during the Circumstance phase. So this Amulet would have allowed us to roll the Circumstance die twice and actually do multiple circumstances. We don't necessarily need to do that. And it's against the Magi, all the relics deal more damage. So basically, each relic is doing damage, automatic damage to the soul shield every single game turn. Now, it will not do damage to each of the villains at the same time. In order for us to win this battle, we first have to crush the Magi. After that, that will allow us to defeat the Dead King. Now, the Dead King is still going to act against us each game turn, but we first have to get through the Magi, and then we get through him. Now, if you'll notice, I've got both of our battle mats in use for this final combat here. Basically, what I've done is I've written the relics that we have will do 40 damage per round to the Dead King's soul shield, because he also has the soul shield. He's taken that fate spool. Against the Magi, though, because we have the Amulet of the Scholar, she is going to suffer more damage. So she's taking 60 damage per round to her soul shield. So we do have soul shields to get through before we can deal any damage to our villains. Let's see how this goes. I think I've talked through everything that I need to. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2. We have now entered the Magi's Acropolis, and it is crawling with the undead. During the movement phase, we are going to use our Barkskin Brew. If you'll remember, we actually picked that up in one of the enthralled cities that we ended up looting. So we are going to use that Barkskin Brew. Let's take a look to see what that does. I'm just going to erase it here. Barkskin Brew. Consume this brew during the movement phase. Thick bark begins to cover the body. All heroes gain block 4 for the duration of the game turn. So throughout this entire combat, we are going to have a block of 4. And I'm just going to write that on our character sheets here, our character cards, just so I don't forget, because there's a lot going on in this end combat. All right, so we have used the Barkskin Brew. The Historian has used that. The Scoundrel is going to use the Mana Stone, and the Mana Stone is going to raise 10 energy. This bonus lasts for 1 full game turn or until the extra energy is lost. So he is going to gain 10 additional energy by using that Mana Stone. Now, if you remember, each of our heroes have invested in a Fawn's Charm. So that's going to allow us to get rid of a condition every time we defend. Okay, so that's a good thing. What else? We have a couple of green fire potions over here. We have some over here. I think we are ready to begin. First thing that we're going to do, the Historian. We've entered the Acropolis. We have bark armor all over our bodies. Not sure how the feathered dragon will look with bark adorned in bark armor, but that could be a really neat image. the Highlander is wielding Kedgel's greatsword and the Aranea's spider whip. He has the gray dragon skull attached to his pack in his backpack. The feather dragon has the amulet of the scholar and is wielding Arcavan staff and the scepter of light. She's likely holding onto them with her feet or arms. All right, so we are going to begin. First round of combat. The historian is going to use Learned One. What does this do? Each hero gains a boost to their favored opponent damage equal to 3 plus half measured strike rank. That would be 3 plus 4. Measured strike is 8. So that's 7 extra damage. This mastery may be sustained. So each game turn I will be spending 1 energy. Sorry, each round of combat I will be spending 1 energy to continue to sustain this power. This is going to cause her to go down to 1 less energy. At rank 5 and every 5th rank after, you gain another favorite opponent. We've already done that. At rank 6, when you use this mastery, 1 ally gains your favorite opponents until the end of combat. This scoundrel now has Vayshee's favorite opponents. So Vayshee is good against both of these opponents, and when you are good against multiple opponents in combat, you get to roll for each opponent. So we're going to roll. The historian gets a d6. She's gaining a +7. Let's roll both. So first one against the Magi, and that's a hex. So let's see, a hex +4 is 10, +7, that's 17 damage coming in. Now, because we're damaging the soul shield, you may already know that energy damage does count against the soul shield. And when you're rolling favorite opponent damage, if you choose for that damage to become energy, it's doubled. So that 17 damage would be 34 damage to the Magi. So that's what we're going to do against the Magi. We're doing 34. And the, let's see, the scoundrel is also going to get his favorite opponent against the Magi. And we get a 5 plus 7 is 12. Again, we're making that into energy damage, so that actually becomes 24. Moving on to the Dead King. The Dead King, the historian is gaining we're rolling our favorite opponent dice for the Dead King. And another hex. So that's 6 plus 4 is 10 again. 10 plus 7 is 17. That's 34 damage against the Dead King's soul shield. Awesome. Then we have the Highlander gaining his roll against the Dead King. 2 plus 7 is 9. So that's 18 additional damage against the Dead King. So that was just our favorite opponent rolls. The next thing that happens, so we've declared what the historian is doing. What is the scoundrel doing? The scoundrel is going to, he has some extra health here, so we are going to do a defend action just in case we need to use a green fire potion. So he is going to defend and just evade this round, just playing it safe because we have 2 major villains that are going to attack us. So let's see first of all what the Magi does. A hex. Soul Lace, dual target, 2 targets become Soul Lace to the Magi. Soul Lace heroes do not suffer any damage from favorite opponent and relic. Bonus damage dealt to the Magi's Soul Shield. If a Soul Lace hero would be the target of this action, they become disoriented. Now this is actually mitigated or reduced by the Scepter of Light. So let's read what the Scepter does. We have the Scepter, so we've been able to prepare. It protects the souls of the group. Soul Lace heroes no longer receive damage when the Magi's Soul Shield is damaged. So we don't necessarily we're not actually taking any damage from this. This is amazing. We have the Scepter of Light, and it has protected us. All right, so that is the end of that Soul Lace. We are not, and the Dead King is going to go against us as well. Let's see what he does. He does a 2. Group Survival. Heroes who succeed deal half damage to the Dead King. So the Bone Legion is surrounding us inside of the Acropolis. They're everywhere. The entire valley, all of the forest now has fallen. Imagine us entering the Acropolis only to have hordes of undead all around us. We're fighting to get through to him. We can't even get through to him yet. We're still attacking the Magi. So we have to roll survival. Made that roll, and we made that roll. Okay, so that at least is a good thing. Now we have some damage to dish out here. So let's go ahead and, just for ease of calculating here, I've got my calculator out. 34, 40, and 24. All right, the Magi has 42 soul shield left after that barrage that we've done to her. And the Dead King has 148 left. Okay. So at the end of that first round of combat, you can see what we have here. Magi still has 140 health, 42 soul shield, 140 energy, while the Dead King has 200, 148 soul shield, and 180 energy. All right. Next round. The Scoundrel was able to defend. He's actually not using that item because we didn't actually take any damage. That was an amazing round. The Dead King actually just summoned his horde. Now, one other thing. Sorry. So, we are fighting on moderate, which means both bosses have their special abilities. First of all, for the Magi, you increase the Fate Tracker by 1 at the beginning of each combat round. So I have to do that. Oh my, and look at this. The Historian has 8 for survival. So she is going to become partially mind-wiped and lose her survival ability, which means she may not be able to help or do certain things. Yikes. All right, so our Fate Tracker went up at the beginning of last round. It will be going up again, leaving us 1 round away from Fate Cycle 8 and her becoming partially mind-wiped. Not to Vayshee. All right, and the Dead King. We search for the Bone Legion encounter, so we need to find the Bone Legion. All the way at the top of the deck. We had like 1 more to go, and then we would have faced the Bone Legion. Okay, so the Bone Legion also enters combat with us. All right, so it is an undead creature. It is also dangerous. So that means it's getting 40 extra health. It's at 42. The Bone Legion is 42. And 20, 32... All right, so that means the Bone Legion is also going last round. So let's see what they do. We're going to roll. Oh, and also they're undead, so we actually get to do our favorite opponent damage against them as well. They would have entered combat with us as well at the beginning. So Vayshee has 5 + 7 is 12 damage against them. And this time we're going with just health damage. They do not have a soul shield, thankfully. The Scoundrel is going to be doing 2 + 7 is 9. So that's 21 damage incoming. They are now down to 21 health remaining. What did they do at the beginning of this, at the end of this first round? 4. Triple target non-lethal health. Any remaining damage is converted to energy damage. Non-lethal health. So this means the Scoundrel is defending for 12. This would have been 10 damage coming in. So he takes nothing. Now, the Historian is going to suffer damage. She is not defending, so she will actually take all 10 damage. She is down to 4 health remaining at the end of this first round. Boy, Vayshee is just being surrounded by this undead legion. The Scoundrel defended last turn. He has 2 green fire potions in his pack. He is going to use one of them on Vayshee to provide a heal. And that green fire potion is going to give her back 7 health and 7 energy. She goes up to 11 health and full energy. That was a good thing. But we've used one of our precious green fire potions. The Scoundrel only has 1 left. All right, so we have done our damage now for the first round of combat. The second round of combat begins. This is where we are going to lay on the hurt. So in this round, first of all, the Magi is going to suffer some damage from these relics. Now we can't actually attack her health until that soul shield is completely depleted. So it would not really be a good thing for us to attack because all of that damage would just be would just go to that soul shield at the moment. However, we do have the Bone Legion, so I think the Scoundrel is simply going to do a sneak attack for 22 against the Bone Legion. Let's roll our favorite opponents first. So the Historian is going to roll a 1 against the Magi. That is going to increase to an 8. So the Magi has 16 damage coming in. That will go toward her soul shield. The Scoundrel, favorite opponent against the Magi. 3 plus 7 is 10. That's double damage because it's energy damage coming into a soul shield. So just like that, we have 40, 56, 76 damage coming into that soul shield, which is only at 42. So that soul shield completely depleted from our favorite opponent damage. Next up, the Historian is going to roll favorite opponent against Bone Legion. 3 plus 7, again, is 10 damage to the Bone Legion. They only have 11 health remaining. The Scoundrel. Hex plus 5 is 11 damage, plus Vayshee's bonus is 7. That's 18 more damage coming in to the Bone Legion. Together, our Scoundrel and Historian have worked together, and they are just crushing based on their favorite opponent rolls. Now we have favorite opponent rolls going against the Dead King. So the Historian rolls a 3 plus 7 is 10. Now the Dead King still has a soul shield, so let's make that energy damage to make that 20 damage coming in. The Scoundrel, 1 plus 7 is 8, so plus 8 is 16. All right, so that's it. The Scoundrel doesn't even need to attack this round. Let's have him defend again. He's going to defend. The Historian will use Ancient Rituals this turn. So this round, first of all, we have the Sustained 1 learning, the Sustained Learned 1 ability going off, so that's going to reduce by 1. Ancient Rituals by 2, and in fact, I think I'm going to make this 2 and 4 is 5. So we go down 5 energy. The Historian loses 5 energy. She's going to use Ancient Rituals twice. That's 2 separate rituals she gets to do. And then Learned 1. Okay. That's done. She's also defending because she has used that ability. So our opponents still get to act. Let's do the Bone Legion first. Resolve that. They roll a 2. Group health, piercing of 2 is plus 2 is 4. So we do have 4 piercing damage coming in. The Scoundrel goes down to 11. Vayshee goes down to 7 health remaining. And that is it for the Bone Legion. We've destroyed the Bone Legion. We will get a power up at the end of this battle. However, we're going to hopefully defeat the Dead King first. All right. With the Bone Legion out of the picture, this is an epic combat. Vayshee has been overrun by zombies. She's been able to throw them off her back. We've gotten up the stairs, and now we're fighting on this pillar of stairs going up into the main cathedral of Adrimon's Acropolis. Alright, what next? So let's do the Magi next. Let's see what she does to us. 3, if you'll remember, the fate tracker goes up, and that's it. The fate cycle has increased to 8. Vayshee now loses the ability to use her survival roll. She can no longer use survival. She's partially mind wiped. All right. So the next thing that happens, we roll a 3 for the Magi. Let's see what she does to us. 3 is Cyclone of Souls, group health, navigate, and explore. The Magi shreds the air with her soul threads. Each hero suffers 30 health damage. Those who succeed explore suffer half damage. It'd be 15. Those who fail navigate become encased. 30 by her soul threads. Oh my gosh. Thankfully, this is a navigate score roll and not a survival score. Otherwise, Vayshee would have been encased by her soul threads. And we do not have the shield which could prevent this total annihilation, this damage coming in. So we have a Cyclone of Souls. It's costing her 10 energy. She goes down to 130 energy. This is a lot of damage coming in. So the first thing that happens, let's roll for the Scoundrel. He has defended this turn and can use an item if he needs to. Let's see what happens. So first we have to roll Navigate and Explore. Our Navigate is a success. Good. Our Explore is another success. All right. So we've managed the Scoundrel managed to get out of the encasing threads that the Magi is the Cyclone is happening around us. The damage reduction, it goes down to 30, so 15, goes down to 15 plus the moderate, so 16 damage. He is evaded for 12, so he's only going to take 4 damage. So he goes down to 7 remaining. Okay. Oh, hang on. We actually have the block from the Barkskin Brew. So he should actually be at 11 at the moment because of that block. I knew I would forget that. All right. The Historian now has to roll a Navigate and a Survival. Let's see what happens. Navigate first. A 7 plus the 1 for the difficulty is an 8. Her Navigate is a 9. She barely manages to get out of these soul threads that are coming out of this Cyclone on the stairs. And the Explore roll is a success as well. So she will also be taking 16 damage. She has used Measured Opponent, which is Defend for 12. The block is also going on. She has that Bark Armor for 4. She takes no damage. All right. So where does that leave us? The Scoundrel has just defended. The Historian will be using her Ancient Rituals. Now, in this case, she is going to use a Raise of Health to give the Scoundrel. He is going up to he gets a raise of 9 health. Also, the Historian is going to gain back. Let's gain back energy. So she's going to go back up to 17 energy. And we did not do the Dead King yet. So the Dead King gets to act now. So let's see what happens there. Our block is now completely taken off. Let's see what the Dead King does. And we get a 4. Essence of Death. He goes down 8 energy. The Dead King siphons the hero's life essence. Each hero suffers 12 energy drain. So that's 13 energy drain, and one target begins to decay, losing half the remaining health at the end of each round. Decay cannot kill a target, nor can it be reflected or negated. You losing half the remaining health at the end of each round. Alright, so this is a group energy attack. It's dealing 13 energy drain. Both of our heroes are defending for 12. That means we're only taking 1 energy drain. So we go down to 17 here, 16 here, and now one of our heroes is now carrying the essence of death, and they will now reduce their health by half at the end of each round. Alright, so who is it going to be? The scoundrel with a 6, the historian with a 3. The scoundrel has been now corrupted by the dead king. His 20 health suddenly goes down to 10. He now only has 10 health remaining. Alright, well, the historian was defending. The scoundrel was also defending. I think that do we want to waste? Well, we have the Wand of Ashes. Can the Wand of Ashes be used in as a defend? It can. Alright, if you will remember, we have 2 Wands of Ashes. Both of them have been activated, have been charged earlier in the game. The scoundrel has one. The historian has one. The scoundrel is defending this round. He is going to use Wand of Ashes. We get to roll a d8, and we get to add health equal to the amount it will explode on a result of a hex or an 8. A 2. So he only gets 2 health back. And it is a heal. It is not a raise. Alright, I think we are going to end that round right there. So we need to do some damage now. The Bone Legion is completely destroyed. Let's take a look at the Magi's Soul Shield. The Magi's Soul Shield is completely depleted, leaving her vulnerable. She has 140 health, 130 energy. Where do we have the Dead King? Dead King has 132 energy, 148, 128, and 104. So he has 104 Soul Shield remaining. Okay. At the end of this turn, the Fate cycle goes up. We are working on Fate cycle 9. When that happens, we have 5 rounds left. 5 rounds left, and the Fate cycle turns to 9. When that Fate cycle turns to 9, the scoundrel is completely taken over by the Dead King, who now has control of the Fate Spool. Not only that, but Vayshee is not doing very good either. She would be even more mind-wiped than she is now, losing access to her navigate ability. So we need to hurry and destroy the 2 villains. Moving into the next round, the historian is still sustaining, so she is going to go down to 15. She's also going to use Ancient Rituals 3 times this round, because I think the scoundrel is ready to make his attack. So she is going to go down another 6. She goes down to 9 energy remaining. So we get Ancient Rituals 3 times this round. The scoundrel is going to use Backstab. So he is going to go down to 15. I think he is also going to use the Cudgel's Greatsword. Yeah, let's do the Cudgel's Greatsword as well. So we are going to spend 4 energy. He goes down to 11 energy. So now we have Cudgel's Greatsword being used as well. He's also going to use his Highlander ability to deal double the damage. So lots of things going on right now. So what do we have? We are going to try, the Highlander is going to try and one-shot the Magi. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We're going to see. The first thing that happens is we get some favorite opponent damage. So the Historian is rolling 2 plus 7 is 9. This is health damage going against the Magi. The Scoundrel, Hex, and 2 is 8 plus 7 is 15, also going against the Magi's health. Then we have the favorite opponent damage coming into the Dead King. That is a 2 plus 7 is 9. Again, this is going to Soul Shield. The Dead King still has a Soul Shield, so that's going to be energy damage and is increased by twice the amount rolled. That 9 becomes an 18. What do we have for the Scoundrel? The Scoundrel is rolling a 4 plus 7 is 11 is 22. Coming into the Dead King. Now we still can't get to the Dead King. The Magi is still in front of us. We're fighting so tooth and nail to try and get to him, but we cannot just yet. Now the Scoundrel is not defending this round. The Historian is defending and using ancient rituals. Let's see what happens. First of all, let's calculate some damage. The Scoundrel is attacking the Magi. So we have 32 and 22 is 54, plus the roll of a 10-sided die, a 4. Now we get to re-roll this die anytime it is less than 5 because his backstab is a 16. So when we get to roll this, and 7. So 7 plus 54 is 61 damage, plus bonus damage equal to your attack rank. So 61 plus 22 is 83 damage. All right, 83. The Highlander is using his ability to double that damage. It becomes 166 damage. That will be enough to destroy the Magi in one hit. Can it go through? We just don't know yet. So that is what we've done. Oh, and Vayshee has a plus 12 damage coming in, so that's another 24 damage. 24, 166, 80, 190, 190 damage coming in. We probably didn't need to use this greatsword ability just yet, but it's piercing, so hopefully it'll get through. All right, let's go ahead and roll for the Magi. A 2. The Magi rolls a 2. Where's her placard? Here it is. Spatial distortion. He is wielding Kedgel's greatsword, so we are actually getting through her special ability here. The Magi creates rifts around her. Heroes who attack the Magi strike the rifts instead. Reflect all damage done to the Magi this round. A successful explore roll reduces the amount reflected in half. Oh my gosh, it's 190 damage. There's no way the Scoundrel could survive this. Let's see if we make this explore roll. We make it with a hex. All right, we've made the roll. Let's see what Kedgel's greatsword, because we have the sword, it augments this ability. When the Magi uses spatial distortion while the wielder of Kedgel's greatsword attacks her, we are attacking her. The sword cuts through her portals. The Magi doesn't reflect any damage. We would have died otherwise. The Scoundrel would be slicing through the air and clean through himself. It doesn't reflect any damage. Instead, she defends for 12 this round. The defend is not enough. Well, it would take out... it's not going to be enough for her to defend. The Magi is destroyed. We have gotten past the Magi. The Dead King now gets to go. And let's see what he does. 3. Power Incarnate. Oh no, this is probably the worst one of His abilities, he uses 10 energy to do this. The Dead King acts twice this round. Roll the action die twice more. If you roll another 3, the Dead King blocks 30 damage. If you roll a third 3, all heroes lose all energy. Oh, so what do we have? We have 2 more actions going this round for the Dead King. We have a 4, Essence of Death. Group energy, the Dead King siphons the hero's life essence. Each hero suffers 12 energy drain. Alright, so this scoundrel is basically, first of all, going to be taking 13 energy drain because of the difficulty. So he goes down to 0, and he has 9 health remaining. One target begins to decay, losing half the remaining health. Now, decay, this isn't a condition, so we're not able to get through this condition. All right. So what next? The next thing is the Historian will also be taking some damage. She has a defend of 12. She is going to be taking 1 energy drain. She's down to 8. All right. And what do we have? Then the Dead King gets to go again. Oh, we have to see who is decaying. Now, the Scoundrel already has it, so we really hope the Scoundrel gets targeted again by this decay. He rolls a 3. Looks like it's going to be Vayshee. A 6. Vayshee is now also decaying. She has now contracted the Essence of Death. And at the end of every game combat round, she is also going to be having her health halved. So what do we have? We have one more thing left. Let's see what the Dead King does with his second action. He rolls a 1, triple target health and navigate. This is a piercing of 4. 3 targets suffer 11 health damage. If any target fails, all targets become trapped by the undead horde. We have to roll navigate first. Let's see. We need to see. We made it. Oh, that was close to a failure. That was 1 close to a failure. And a 9 is a failure. Vayshee has failed. We have Arcaven Staff. It's time to use Arcaven Staff. Once per game turn, you may spend 5 energy to allow all heroes who have rolled a skill to receive the most favorable roll of the group. Vayshee uses the power of Arcaven Staff. She has just barely enough energy left to use it. It's going to cost her 5 energy. She only has 3 energy left. This is a crazy round. Just in the nick of time, Vayshee has used Arcaven Staff to waylay the horde coming at the heroes. Now we have damage coming in. This is triple target. Thankfully, it's not unyielding, which means we're only suffering it once for each hero. First of all, it's 10 health damage. The Scoundrel will perish this round. The Historian has a heal coming in. So first of all, the Historian is using her Raise ability. He goes up to 18 health. Then the undead horde hits Arghast, dealing 11 damage. He goes back down to 7 health remaining. The Historian is defending, so she will take 4 piercing damage, bringing her to 3 health remaining. Vayshee, at the end of this round, has 3 health and 3 energy remaining. Arghast has 7 health and 0 energy remaining. We have a couple more effects to take care of. The first thing that happens is the Historian has already applied her health and her attack ancient rituals. She still has the 1 that she used. She used 3 this round. So she has 1 more left to use, and that is her energy raise. So she will be raising energy by 4. So she goes up to 7 energy remaining. She also has used her defend action, so she gets to use an item. She will be using one of her 4 green fire potions. So she is going to go down to 3 green fire potions, and she is going to get to raise her health and energy by 7. All right, so that was 4, 7, so 14. All right. The scoundrel is done. We've done all of our attacks this round. Wow, that was a terrible round for us. The Dead King has used another 8 energy. He goes down to 114. All right, so at the end of that round, let's apply that soul shield damage to the Dead King. Minus 18, minus 22. He's at 64. All right. So at the end of that round, we have the Dead King with 200 health, 64 soul shield, and 114 energy. We haven't even gotten to his health yet. He's still soul shielded by all of these zombies. We have a few tricks up our sleeves just yet. So the first thing that occurs, at the end of the round, we have our heroes drop health because they have the essence of death. So Arghast is going to go down to 4 health. Vayshee goes down to 5 health. Arghast has 4 health. Vayshee has 5. Thankfully, she has some energy, but he is completely out of his energy. So Scoundrel this turn, our fate tracker goes up by 1. Thankfully, we still have a few rounds left before it is fate cycle 9. But I'm starting to sweat for sure. Okay. Oh, and that block. We should actually have 2 extra health because we have block. Again, I've missed it last turn. Thankfully, we do have a couple left because of block. I'm only giving 2 because that would have been reduced in half by the decay. All right. Entering this next round, Scoundrel will be defending and using his last green fire potion. Vayshee is going to spend 1 energy to keep that learned one going, and she will be spending another 4 energy, so she's down to 9 in order to do her ancient rituals twice. Okay. She's also defending, so she can use an item as well. The favorite opponent damage, we get to do that. So Vayshee rolls a 6, and a 4 is 10, plus 7 is 17. Going to Soul Shield, that's going to be against energy, so let's go 17 times 2 is 34. 34. Now that the relics are not doing damage to the Magi's Soul Shield, they can focus on doing damage to the Dead King's Soul Shield. So now we have 40 damage going to the Dead King's Soul Shield. That's a total of 74 damage to the Soul Shield currently without even rolling the Magi's favorite opponent. Let's roll for that. And that is a 3. So 3 and 7 is 10, times 2 is 20. Okay. Then we have the Dead King gets to go. Let's see what he does this turn. He rolls a 3 again. Power incarnate. How are we going to survive this? I don't know. I don't know how we're going to survive this. This might be too much for us to handle. Let's see what happens. We might both die to the Dead King in this turn. We'll see. I don't know. This is looking very grim. All right, so the first thing that happens is we roll again. It's a 2. So group survival, heroes who succeed deal half damage. Those who fail have their attacks negated. If more than half the heroes fail, the Bone Legion absorbs all damage dealt. And Murder of Crows also takes effect. Now, the Historian can't roll survival. She's partially mind-wiped, so she does fail. Thankfully, this says is if more than half the heroes fail, the Bone Legion just absorbs everything. So thankfully, the Bone Legion is again coming out of the woodwork. They're like surrounding the palace. They've come up the stairs and are now taking control of the situation for the dead king, and harrying us as we are fighting through the balcony, maybe into a grand library. All right, so the next thing that happens, Dead King is acting twice. He has rolled the Bone Legion the first time, and a 5 entropic wave, group health. Each target suffers 8 health damage. Thankfully, this is defendable damage. If this damage kills a hero, they are raised by the Dead King and fight by his side. They cannot be targeted, and at the end of each round, they use their attack action against a random remaining hero. Thankfully, this is defendable. Each of our heroes are defending. That's 9 incoming damage. Their defend is 12. They still have the 4 block. They take no damage. We breathe easy, but this entropic wave passes through us, and we're nearly affected by it. All right, so that is the end of that round. We get to apply our soul shield damage. The Dead King has no soul shield left. All of these zombies have been falling next to him in piles, just tons of huge hill of corpses in this antechamber that he has been substituting their life essence for his own. So every time he takes a hit, more zombies in the room just fall. All right, we have 200 health remaining. We have some effects to take care of for the Scoundrel and the Historian. Now, the Scoundrel has defended. He is using his last green fire potion. That will allow him to gain 7 energy and 7 vitals. The Historian is also using her ancient ritual, or her green fire potion. So she has 2 left, 2 remaining, and she goes up 7 and 7. So she's at 16. And the green fire potion is a heal. It is not a raise. Let me just double check that. It is a heal. So she does not go above her maximum. She's at 14 health. She has a raise coming in, though. She has ancient rituals twice. She is using that. Let's use it for... we're going to give that to the Scoundrel. He's going to need the health coming up. So he goes up to 22 health. And she is going to go up to 20 energy as that raise. All right, so at the end of this combat round, we have Arghast with 22 health remaining. He still has the Dead King's Essence of Death. He will be dropping to 11 health at the end of this round. Vayshee is at 14 health. She's going to drop down to 7 health at the end of this round. And it is the end of the round. 11 and 7. We just might barely come through with this with our lives. All right. So the fate tracker increases. Oh my gosh. We're 3 rounds away from losing the Scoundrel to the Dead King. So we've used the once per combat Kedgel's Greatsword ability. We've used the Highlander's ability. We've not used the Widow's Fang ability. We've used the Arcaven Staff ability. Once per combat, you may spend 5 energy to boost one ally's action rank by your 2nd mastery rank. We are going to have a gigantic backstab coming in. Arghast has positioned himself behind the Dead King, and he is basically using the Greatsword to backstab the Dead King. Let's see what happens. So the first thing that happens is we roll some favorite opponents. We have Vayshee spending her Learned One ability. She is also going to be using Ancient Rituals this turn for, let's go with 6. So she is going down to 13 energy remaining. She's also using the Scepter of Light ability, which is going to cost her 5 energy. She goes down to 8 energy remaining. All right, so we have the Scepter of Light ability coming in. We have 3 ancient rituals that she's performing, and she gets that learned one bonus to favorite opponent. Let's roll that favorite opponent dice. 4 plus 7 is 11. Now this is a damage coming in, health damage coming into to the dead king. We're finally able to assault him. Scoundrel, 3 damage plus 7 is 10. So that's 21 damage total that the dead king can't mitigate. He can't do anything about that damage. All right, Arghast, this turn is going to be using his backstab. He's going down to 5 energy. And let's see, once per combat, you may spend 5 energy to boost one ally's action rank by your second action rank. So that 16 becomes a 31 rank backstab. Arghast's backstab rank right now is 31. 31, so that's 62 plus 22 is 84 damage. Plus the roll of a d10, and that's a 9, is 93 damage. 93 damage coming into the dead king. That is awesome. All right. Then we have Vayshee's ability. We've already done favorite opponent. We've already done favorite opponent here. We've done the dead king's attack from the scoundrel. We're ready for the dead king. Okay, so I'm just trying to go through everything, make sure I'm doing everything right. So 1, undead horde, triple target, health and navigate, piercing of 4. So this is 11 health damage coming into each of our heroes. Is it going to be enough where we can survive? The scoundrel has 11 health left. The historian has 7 health left. Unless we do something with our items and with Vayshee's ancient rituals, they will both die this round. So this is so close. All right. So first of all, we roll navigate. So let's see. A 4, we make it. And a 7, we make it. All right, so we've managed to make our navigates rolls here. So that means that we're not trapped by the undead horde. They're still climbing up from everywhere and trying to trap us. So this is a piercing of 4. We automatically take 4. Historian is defending. So she's taking 4. It goes down to 3. Now, the scoundrel can't do anything about it. He's doing a backstab. So he's going to suffer all of this damage. That's 11 damage coming in. He would be at 0. Now, he does have the block, so he would go up to 4. And so that would save him at least. The bark armor that he has had growing on his body is saving his life at the moment. The undead are just crawling at him and tearing at his flesh, but they can't get at it. All right, the historian has some effects that we get to do now. Now he has defended, which means he gets a green fire potion. Let's use that green fire potion on himself. He's going to go up to 15 and 10. And then we have the scoundrel is going to, let's say the historian is raising the scoundrel's health here with his raise ability, so that is going up to 13. The scoundrel, let's give it to the scoundrel. Extra energy coming in for you, so you have 9 energy remaining. All right, so that is the end of that round. Fate tracker goes up by 1 more, and we have the dead king left with, wait for it, 86 health remaining. 86 health remaining on the dead king. Okay, so I think we can do this. We have 2 rounds remaining before the scoundrel is completely mind wiped. We've used the Highlander, we've used Kedrill's Greatsword, we haven't used the Widow's Fang yet. We can use Widow's Fang. I think that's what we're going to do next. All right, Vayshee this round is going to be doing the same thing. Learned 1, sustaining that for 1. She's going to spend another 6 on Ancient Rituals, so she goes down to 8. And oh, at the end of that round, we have the Essence of Death affecting our heroes. So they go down by 4. So he's at 9 and she is at 6 going into this combat round. All right, so the scoundrel this turn is going to just do a sneak attack. He is just going to use his sneak attack, and anytime the wielder uses only their attack action, they may also roll the fate die and deal piercing energy damage equal to the result. So he's going to be doing 22. The historian is adding the plus 12 to his attack, so he is going up to 34. And he also is doing some, we have another 8 damage here, should be at 106. Okay, so he also gets the roll of a d8 because of Widow's Fang, and this is energy damage, and that's a hex, and that's a 2, so that's 3 extra energy damage. Not too much, but that's okay. Okay, and the target is bleeding, so the Dead King is now bleeding. And just so we see what bleeding is, they lose 1 health during the declaration phase, and it continues until they receive healing or they die. The Dead King is now bleeding from this magical Widow's Fang whip. So eventually the Dead King will die, but will it be before our heroes survive? Can they survive one last hit by the Dead King? The scoundrel has no healing items left. He has used his attack. He's wide open for anything that comes in this round. Vayshee, we've done everything our heroes are going to do. We haven't rolled favorite opponent, so let's roll favorite opponent. Historian gets a measly 1 for 8 damage coming into the Dead King. The scoundrel rolls a 4. It's a little bit better, so that's 11 damage for a total of 19 coming into the Dead King. Okay, so the Dead King gets to act this turn. Let's see what he does. And he rolls a 4. Essence of Death. Again, group energy. The Dead King siphons the hero's life essence. Each hero suffers 12 energy drain and 1 target begins to decay. Well, we're already decayed, so we don't get this other one, but we're each taking 12 energy drain. The historian has 12, actually 13 with a block of 4, so she has blocked all of this. The scoundrel will be taking all of this damage. 13 minus 4 is 9. He goes down to 0 energy remaining. And that is it. 8 total energy spent. So that's 11. All right, so let's calculate out what the Dead King has left. And he is at 33 health remaining. 33 health. And he is at 95 energy remaining. And it is 1 round. At the end of this round, the scoundrel will be mind wiped. The scoundrel will have lost his mind and the Dead King will have taken him over. Can we do it in 1 more round? All right, so the historian has a couple effects going off. She used her defend. She has 1 green fire potion left. She's going to use that on herself, going up to 13 and 15, and that is the rest. She has no more green fire potions remaining. It's a good thing we stocked up on these when we did in the waypost. They have come in handy. She also gets her ancient rituals. So let's give The Scoundrel, Arghast, 4 energy, and a raise of 9 health. So at the end of this round, we have the Essence of Death take over, and the Scoundrel is drained of 9 of his health, and the Historian is also drained. She goes down to 7. So there you have it. At the end of this round, we have the Scoundrel at 9 health, 4 energy. Vayshee is at 14 health and 18 energy. This has been crazy, this end combat. All right, next is our turn. Let's roll some favorite opponent damage. The Historian still has learned 1 going. This is the last round she can sustain it. So that is going to drop her down to 14. She's also going to use Ancient Rituals 3 times again. So she goes down to 8 energy remaining. And the Scoundrel this time is simply going to attack for 22. Plus the 12 is 34. 34 damage coming in. It might be enough to destroy the Dead King. The favorite opponent damage, let's see what we do. A 4 and a 7 is 11 favorite opponent damage over here for the Scoundrel. Oh, you know what? Let's have Vayshee use her Feather Dragon ability to roll twice as many favorite opponent dice. So that's another 4 damage coming in, and that is 3 more energy. She goes down to 5, and that is 15 damage coming into the Dead King. The Scoundrel, 2 plus 7 is 9 damage coming in. All right, what is the Dead King going to do to us? So we are using Widow's Fang, so we can roll for favorite opponent. I'm sorry, piercing energy damage. 6. So, and the Dead King is bleeding, so he does take 1 extra. He should be down to 32. Okay. All right, we're ready. The moment of clarity is here. Time seemingly stops as our 2 heroes hopefully deliver the killing blow to the Dead King. And it's a hex. Murder of Crows. Group health. Each target suffers 4 piercing health damage, and the Dead King unleashes a swarm of crows. Each hero is surrounded. So this is actually dealing more damage. It's dealing 5 piercing health damage. Vayshee goes down to 2 health remaining. Arghast goes down to 4 health remaining. Surrounded 2 piercing health damage at the beginning of the declaration phase of each round. So if combat continues into the next round, we will also be taking 2 extra damage based on that. Now, we have a couple of effects to do yet. So the Historian gets the +9 energy raise. So she's going to take that +9 and go up to 11. She's going to use her +4 energy on... it's not going to be enough. She's going to use it on herself. So at the end of this round, the fate tracker increases to 9. Boom. And now Arghast has been completely mind wiped by the Dead King. He has succumbed to the Dead King's powers, and Vayshee is left watching her friend turn into this mindless zombie as the Dead King takes control of his life. He loses, because he has Essence of Death, he loses half of his life. So the Scoundrel is down to 2 health and 4 energy remaining. All right. The Historian has come through with 11 health and 9 energy. and check it out. The damage that Arghast did was enough to defeat him. Together, their favorite opponent damage was only doing 24, but Arghast's 34 health damage coming in was one gigantic slash across his midsection, cutting the dead king in half. The fate spool falls to the floor. The scoundrel loses his mind and says goodbye to Vayshee one last time. Awesome end to an awesome campaign. Hey everyone, that concludes our adventure. Vayshee and Arghast have done what they can to save the valley, and although it was a little too much for Arghast, Vayshee did get through with a success, just barely, because of her 13 rank in Explore. She was not mind wiped at the end. So I hope you've really enjoyed watching this playthrough. That last combat was probably one of the most close combats I have actually played, and especially for on video here. So that was really neat to kind of see it unfold the way it did, and the narrative was quite awesome too. I saw the battle playing out in my head the whole time. So like I said, I hope you have enjoyed watching this playthrough. If you have any questions or if you want to make any comments, please feel free to do so. Thank you again for all your support, and until next time, have a great time adventuring out there. Thanks.